You are live. Welcome, everybody, to the Historically Haunted Podcast, New Year's edition, New Year's 2022. Very special guest today. Good friend of mine, someone I've known for a little bit now, a traveler. I guess that's a modest way to put it. The owner, well, not owner, but I'd say the founder and leader of the Warren Legacy Foundation. Grandson to Ed and Lorraine Warren, and just an overall brother of mine and a great human being, Chris McKinnell. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year's, my friend. Happy New Year's to everyone who's joining us this evening. I am incredibly happy and having a blast down here in Colombia.
He's in Colombia right now. That's awesome. And for those of you watching that don't know, I mean, you guys celebrate Christmas all over the world. So of course down there it was festive and.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, it's very strange down there, or down here, I should say. They actually said in all of South America, in all of Latin America, Christmas Eve is far more important than Christmas Day. Christmas morning, Everything was open. And Christmas Eve, everything is shut down. Everyone is partying and having a great time.
It's almost like not like a Mardi Gras, I guess it sounds like it would be. I mean, we follow your post. And I see the different foods and the different lifestyles and dress and music and the old churches. And you're just having a blast living life, spreading the word of God and helping people along your journey. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you. I do this for a number of reasons. One, I'm out here learning. One of the things I've found, and I've lived all over the world. I've lived Korea, Thailand, Nepal, Mali in West Africa, Israel, Egypt, France, Scotland, England, you name it. I've probably lived there. Brazil, Costa Rica. And the interesting thing for me is the paranormal presents itself differently based on cultural and spiritual beliefs. And why would that be?
I feel like, well, because you and me talk obviously off Facebook, and like you say, God wants us all to just believe in God. He doesn't care about the nitpicky human-based religions. Like you say, you followed everything from Buddhism to obviously Catholic to Methodist to Baptist to you've dabbled in it all. And like you say, it comes out to the one thing: believe in God. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, there's a wonderful proverb or parable. I guess you'd say, a Hindu one. And I believe this wholeheartedly. God is like a man on a mountain, and there are an infinite number of paths to get up there. It's only the fool running around the base of the mountain telling everyone they're going the wrong way that never gets any closer to him. God doesn't care about your religion. He cares about your faith. He cares about if you're living your faith. If you're living his example, which is, compassion and love for one another and helping one another. One of the things I think is so important about my travels is sharing them with everyone, because there's so much fear. And fear to me, and I lived with it. I lived with fear the first 16 years of my life. And I mean, I was terrified of everything. If your grandparents were Ed and Lorraine Warren, you would too.
I remember reading Satan's Harvest, and you talk about how in the beginning you didn't know what the hell was going on. And Ed pretty much told you, your grandfather, Ed Warren, told you, you're a demonologist, you're a ghost hunter, it's in your blood. And you're like, I am? Okay. And you kind of get thrown into it. And of course, you're still learning, which you're very modest because you know a wealth of knowledge. And for those of you that don't know Chris personally, he is, and that's no joke, all over the world, and not just America. Not just Satan's Kingdom, where he used to go when he was a kid out there, the little playground in Connecticut. But he's been
New Hartford, Connecticut,
New Hartford. But he's been the day I met Chris. Me and Heather met Chris. We went to Ed and Lorraine's house that Lorraine designed, picked him up, and went to the Monroe Diner. And he was leaving to the airport that same day, I believe. I think that an hour after. And that was it. You haven't been back to America since.
No,
I was the last one to see you.
I did come back to America to be with a friend for a little while. When he was confronted with the tragedy. I spent a few months with him, but other than that, no, I haven't been back. I may be back soon, but only for about a week.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm coming back to Colombia because, there's somebody here that I like. a lot.
I was gonna bring that up, and I was gonna say you might have a new close friend. You know, you're healthier, you're happier. I mean, you're glowing, dude. Every time I see you, you're just radiant. Not that you weren't before, but you're just you got something about you, and I love it because you're one of the best people I've ever met. And you told me not to like. I know you're humble, but dude, you really sparked something in me and Heather, and that's what we want to do here in Maine. Is we spread the word of the goodness. And like you say, we don't want to be the Hollywood. We want to be the pure. And I use my podcast for good, not evil. And that's why I got the Warren legacy last week. I had Heather, which she's doing better. Dr. Heather's doing better, resting now.
Yes. Yeah, she
Prayers for her.
Orders, no work until tomorrow. And then I'm still not sure I want her to do anything for a couple more days. That poor woman works her ass off for the foundation.
Amen.
I mean, she is unbelievable. She truly is.
She's modest too. She didn't want to toot her own horn about being a doctor or being in a paranormal team with her own son and husband, and just the knowledge. And Rachel says hi. You got a lot of people saying hi. Nicole Garrard, you've been on Nicole's show. She's a good friend. Yeah. Hello, Nicole.
Nicole Gaspard.
Gaspard, yeah. We did have a quick question for you.
Several times. She's wonderful. She's a sweetheart. And a terrific medium.
She's actually got a question for you, Chris. What is the most haunted location that you lived at, besides, I guess, Lorraine and Ed's house?
Yeah. Besides that. That's a good question, actually. I've lived in a lot of haunted locations.
Even recently, your travels now.
Yeah, absolutely. Last 3 weeks ago, we were staying in a casona, which is a hacienda or a sprawling, very old, 461-year-old location here in Columbia, and tremendously haunted. And then growing up, it seemed three places we lived were haunted, and we moved around a lot. And I always was in the most haunted place. They always put me in the bedroom that would be freezing cold. I'd hear the whispers. I'd see the lights, and nobody, of course, believed any of it. They just thought I was having night terrors, and I was afraid of the dark. And of course, I was afraid of the dark. I knew something was in it, and I didn't understand. What I was dealing with.
Yeah, you had a different childhood than most people. That's fair to say.
Yeah. But it taught me the value of overcoming your fears, and it taught me how powerful fear is. But on the flip side, it also, more importantly, showed me our own personal power. It's extraordinary when you get past your fears. That's when you can truly take control of everything in your life. The thing that bugs me most, and the photos you've got of me online, that was after I had bariatric surgery and I'd already lost 145 pounds. And most people who knew me thought that's never going to happen. He's never going to do it. My family said exactly that. He's never going to do it. But look at me now. We can do anything. The trick is never say I can't. If you change can't to the word won't every time you say something where you want to say can't, that's an empowering thing. It's a decision you're making instead of giving away your power by saying I can't. I know it's not terribly paranormal, but it's something I feel is important to share so that we can, to help people.
Spiritual.
That's really what the foundation does. The Warren Legacy Foundation, for people who don't know, is a worldwide organization that helps people for free, anonymously. And we have several different ways we help. Of course, we educate the public like we're doing right here. We also educate the next generation of researchers. We also have 2 psychic support groups because I come from a therapeutic background, and over 800 members in these groups. both in English and Spanish, where we help people who are overcome by anxiety, panic attacks, their empathic abilities, or we just help them either to suppress or learn how to use their psychic abilities better. It's completely anonymous, completely free, like everything else we do. And of course,
I got to ask real quick, Chris. I sorry to cut you up.
Or we help people who are having paranormal problems.
I'm dying to know, because obviously Lorraine was spiritual, but this is something you did on your own. This is something that you, like the whole Warren thing. I guess obviously Lorraine wanted to start that, but this spiritual outlook that you have is way different than your counterparts. It's way different than what you were used to. When did you decide to do this life-changing soul searching? Is it something you've always been with the faith and traveling? I'm dying to know, because you look so happy. And like you said, that picture was a long time ago. I don't have any recent pictures with you, but between losing weight and finding love and just finding yourself and traveling, if that's fair to say, you've come a long way in the 3 years since I've met you. So what drives you for this? What keeps you just searching for the Dalai Lama, who you met and who you've hung out with, but what puts you on that path still?
I spent my whole life from early childhood trying to understand God. Trying to figure out which religion was the right religion. As a kid, I spent, I think, 6 months with the Jehovah's Witnesses, another 6 months or even a year with the Mormons. I, of course, went through my whole catechism with the Catholics. But when it came time for confirmation, I said, yeah, this isn't for me. Then I ran into a fella who was a Zen Buddhist, and he gave me a book on the pillars of Zen Buddhism, and I started studying that. College, wow. I started studying all sorts of different religions through my actual research and studies at University of Connecticut.
Yeah, Huskies.
Yeah, go, especially the ladies Huskies. They're
yes.
But anyway, and the thing is, I wanted to believe so desperately in a religion. And I even went to Israel and thought I'd study Judaism and see if that was it. Or I lived in a couple of Muslim countries and studied there. Went to Nepal, studied there, But I realized it was my ego recently, like when I was 50. And I'd been trying to understand the mind of God all that time. And I finally realized that's just my ego. It's my need to understand something. But NASA now says that there are more living worlds in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth. Now, if that's true, and I believe it is, if that's true, how could my mind encompass the mind of God? I'm nothing.
Impossible.
Exactly. And when people want to say something, when someone wants to put me on a pedestal, or say nice things about me, I'm so embarrassed, because the truth is,
you are humble.
On any real imaginable scale, I'm just one little light in the universe, just like every other soul. I'm no different, no greater, no lesser. I'm just another soul searching for God. And my faith came in when I realized I couldn't understand the perspective of God. I just had to have faith. Faith isn't knowing. Faith is believing.
Learning through him. Nicely put. It's true. The best you can do is spread his message and just try to live by what he is. And it's really not hard, and it's rather fulfilling. Like you say, you're a very modest dude. You're not a movie star. You don't have it made by any means, but you love your life that you live, and that's all it really takes. And that's all you need.
I don't need things. Things are not important to me. People are important to me. Experience and learning, and then sharing what I learned. That's what's important to me.
You have a lot of, I don't want to say disciples because that sounds weird, but you have a lot of people. Like, actually, here's one right now. Someone we both know personally very well, Heather. She thinks very highly of you. She looks up to a lot of what you do. She wants to know, were these spirits from the locations that you went to earlier? Or are they spirits that they think that travel around with you?
For the most part, they're spirits who are already there. There are a couple who do tend to come around here and there. My grandparents have been around a number of times for me. Padre Pio has shown up several times on cases for me. And then there's a fellow named Harry Price. Harry Price predates my grandparents by quite a long time. He was famous in the 30s to the 50s.
Even before Holzer, Hans Holzer, even. That's right.
Oh yeah, long Holzer as well.
Yes,
it started in I think
Harry
the 50s
Price
and 60s. But Harry was famous for the Borley Rectory in Borley Church in England, the most haunted place in England. At least that's what he claimed.
Wow.
And he was a strong influence on my grandparents, especially my grandfather. And we were up in Nova Scotia, up in Halifax, in Canada, and I had been out with a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, it's one of the doctors in the foundation right now. And I'd come back to the hotel room I was sharing with my grandparents, and the door was locked, the hotel room. And my grandfather came to the door and he said, "Shh, there's a ghost in the room." I was like, okay. I walked into the dark room, sat on my bed while my grandmother's having a conversation with Harry Price. And Harry said we were there for a convocation of researchers. There was Ron McNally and Radu Florescu. Radu was a direct descendant of Dracula, Vlad Tepes. The two men had rediscovered Dracula's castle. And
that's right. He's real, folks. Transylvania's a real thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dracula, which means son of dragons. That's what it means. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Then there was Dr. Varma, who was a professor there at Dalhousie University in Halifax, an incredibly good man. He was another researcher, and Harry wanted to be included in this group, and he had asked us for permission to join us.
And oh my God, what an all-star group.
I know. It was amazing.
Oh man, amazing. I'm getting goosebumps. Goosebumps. Yeah. But the mind power, the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge, the no fear. You guys have fear, but you don't because you have faith.
I don't. Like I lost my fear years ago. I mean, I may fear for people I love, but it doesn't matter if I die because I'm gonna die. I accepted that a long time ago. Nothing, and you keep, well, first, back to Harry for a moment. Harry said to me, through my grandmother, that I was going to be an important person in this field, and that he wanted to watch over me for the rest of my life. So yeah, he's also around to answer Heather's question.
That's wild. That's wild. That was a great. Oh, and our friend Nicole just signed up to the Warren Foundation, $25. I totally believe in what you all do. Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is the Patreon account we just announced a few minutes ago, as a matter of fact. We have 4 tiers of support, a $5, $10, $15, and $25 VIP tier. There's exclusive raffles with exclusive merchandise. There's Q&A sessions that you get to have. I'll even give you a personal phone call if you're on the VIP list. You'll get a free gift every 3 months. And it's all that aside, because I mean, that's just appealing to what people want. For me, what's really important, it's an opportunity for people to help others. The money does not go to support me in any way. We might buy some equipment, but for the most part, the money is going to be used to help people get from one place to another, to help people. We get a call in Miami and we don't have anybody in Miami. We want to be able to send a team there. So it's an opportunity for people to help. And for me, I mean, that's how I live my life. I live on a Social Security check only, and that's enough for me. I don't want more. I'm afraid of fame. I'm afraid of being rich. I don't want it to ruin me. I've seen what it can do to a person, and I've seen how petty people become when they become famous. Not everyone, don't get me wrong, but I've seen what it does to an ordinary person, and I have no interest in it. It's not me. It would screw up my spiritual journey.
I think anybody that knows you could agree with that, because you're just, wherever you go, you make friends. And of course, you do have some children, you have your sons and stuff. But when you're traveling, it's like you have friends and family all over the world, and it's all people from all different walks of life. And you're here on a mission. God's got you on a mission, my brother, and you know that, and you're doing it. And for those of you, the Warren Legacy Foundation, it's right on Facebook. Follow them up. Join.
Or you go to warrenlegacy.com, warrenfiles.com. That's our website. Good place to see some stuff. You can also just check me out, Chris McKinnell. All right. There's a Chris McKinnell personal page, Chris McKinnell public page, and Chris McKinnell on the Warren Files public page. We're all basically the same. God knows why we have so many of these bloody pages.
Oh man, it's good though, and I think it's good because you also, like, we have the Paranormal Connection that we run, but you also you have your regional directors, Joseph Horn, Kenneth Torres, of Dr. Heather, amongst a plethora. I'm friends with all of them.
We've got we've
all
got
over America and the world.
Dalton Harrell and Sarah James and Karen Tibbetts Williams out in New Zealand, and Yeah, we're well represented. We've got really, really good people, and they share the same vision, the same mission, different spiritual paths, and that I think is one of our strengths, because we don't limit ourselves. Oh, I didn't even mention Archbishop Christian Piedrahita. He covers all of South America, or Israel. Wow. Israel is our director for Central America. Israel Brontes. So we have wonderful people, and they do come
the
from
Holy Land,
every walk. And I am very blessed. I am not special, but I am really, really blessed. And you asked why I glow, and the truth is, for 10 years, I slept in a recliner and I was on oxygen and in a wheelchair. I couldn't move. I had to have nursing help 65 hours a week.
Wow.
Nothing makes a person more grateful than coming out of the dark like that. And I know that nothing lasts forever, and there will be problems in the future. But I now understand that problems are lessons for us to learn from. And if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to get smacked with the same problem again and again and again and again until you learn the lesson. And then it's gone.
Like you said earlier, don't say I can't. Don't say it's like I say I won't. People could have wrote you off for dead 5-10 years ago, said he's going to be dead in 5 years. And look at you now, man. You're eating peaches underneath a Bahama tree in fucking Colombia with a hot chick on the beach, man. God bless you. That's amazing. You beat the odds, and you did it with just your own willpower. I mean, with God on your side. But Heather is sharing all your links in the chat. Thank you, Heather.
Sweetheart.
Nicole, another question. Thank you, Nicole. What's the difference, Chris, between exorcisms and or a deliverance?
I don't think there is a difference. But different religions see things differently. Every single religion in the world has exorcism rites. It is not just a Catholic thing. You don't need the Vatican to approve it if you're not a Roman Catholic. And even then, it actually goes through the archdiocese. It goes through the bishop, and not through the pope. They're incredibly rare. I just recently was added to a group that's all about exorcisms on Facebook, and I'm only agreed to join it because I wanted to see what they're doing, and it scares the hell out of me.
Yes, everything's demonic, everything's evil, everything. It's too much Hollywood. It's too much Conjuring and Exorcist, and
and the reality is most of it's self-manifested. To go back to that, if we can self-manifest our fears, Imagine what we can manifest when we take control. That to me is the whole point here. We are powerful. Yeah. We are truly powerful. Everything's energy, but we are energy that is consciously aware. Yeah. We can do a lot with that.
Amen. I hope everybody out there is listening. Seriously, he's a very humble guy, but he's very educational. He's got a lot. If you're willing to listen, and I know there's a lot of you Zach Baggins out there that all just want to go and do the weekend thing, and that's fine. There's plenty of room for you in the world too. But Chris, and what the Warren legacy does is gets down to the bottom of things. Like you said, spiritual rights, as far as anything from Santeria to exorcisms, you name it. And it's all about just believe, man, and just taking care of each other. And like you said, a ghost is what we were. A spirit, you can't kill energy. So we're just as strong. You have the right to not give anything energy over you. I believe in that.
I do too.
I got to talk to you.
Afraid, you give away that ability. The fear is what manifests.
Absolutely.
Ross is asking, was the Enfield poltergeist case demonic? According to my grandparents, absolutely it was demonic. There was nothing human there at all. The voices, my grandfather explained to me, had been electronically investigated, and they were not human, could not be done humanly. Don't get me wrong, Conjuring 2, and I think James Wan's amazing. Conjuring 2 is terrible.
I own it because I got to have the collection, but I mean, it's not my favorite.
Well, don't get me wrong. It's different for me, because it's my family and I know the truth. And don't watch any of those movies and think you're learning anything real.
I like the Enfield Haunting movie. Like you said, like a haunting
good one. That's the BBC production. Yeah,
that's a good one. Like you told me too about the haunting in Connecticut. You say there's a haunting in Connecticut and haunting in Connecticut, which haunting is more documented.
Yeah, the haunting in Connecticut was on YouTube. It may still be. That one is a documentary that was done by Discovery Channel. It's 2 hours long. It's excellent. Now, that was my case. I was the lead investigator. I spent 9.5 weeks in that house.
Snedeker Family Hauntings in Southington, Connecticut. I've been to the house. Me and Heather outside after we left your house, but you were involved in that with the young boy and the whole nine, because it used to be a funeral home, and that case is the real deal. And that's right, you were involved in that as well as Maurice Thibodeau. But
no, his name's Maurice Theriault.
Oh, Theriault. Oh, I should know that. He's from Maine. I should know his name, for God's sake. I'm half French. So, that's like stuff like that. You're not getting movie rights. You're not getting a paycheck. You were involved, and you're just like, whatever. You're just
I was
doing
actually
your own
in the first edition of most of those books, but I didn't like the fame, so I asked them I did not give them permission to put me in later editions. I mean, I think they still use the name Chris, and maybe even
they do.
Haunted, they use the name Chris McKenna. I think it's like
McKenna.
Really?
Yeah, in Satan's Harvest, the book, it's Chris McKenna, McKenna. I go, that's Chris McKinnell. When you fed him the tomatoes in his farm in Massachusetts, when you went out and got the tomatoes or ripe tomatoes, it said Chris McKenna. I said, that's Chris McKinnell, because you told me that story.
He came under possession while we were out there in the greenhouse. It was amazing what happened that afternoon. I was with a friend of mine. Well, he was my partner at the time, Ray Jefferson, and Nancy. That was Nancy Theriault,
his wife,
Maurice's wife. She was there with us. Maurice started saying that he was feeling really cold, and it was early spring, so I was like, okay, go on over to the heater, and he had a wood-fired heater in there for the plants, and get warm. And he just stopped as he walked there, turned around, looks at me, and I was like, oh crap, Maurice isn't there. His eyes took on the look of a snake, slitted. He started drooling blood again. Sometimes he would cry tears of blood.
I saw the video when I met Annabelle. The tears were clear, but when they hit his T-shirt, his white shirt, just blood. It was like blood halfway as it dripped. I've never felt so horrified since I watched Faces of Death. That was pretty real. For those of you that think exorcisms are just, oh, that's cool, you better know what you're in for, otherwise you really shouldn't even be involved in it.
Actually, in that exorcism of Maurice Theriault, my grandfather had a heart attack.
Oh, that wasn't in the book. Whoa.
Yeah. The next morning, I got a call. He had been admitted to the hospital. with a massive. It was his first heart attack.
Was that
the scene they have
Medfield,
in
Massachusetts?
didn't happen in Conjuring 3. It happened in the Maurice Theriault case. But I was telling you, what had happened. So he came under possession, and I told Ray to get Nancy out of the greenhouse and back up to the house, and I started walking toward Maurice, and I was saying, by the power of Jesus Christ, I command you to be gone, making the sign of the cross in front of me. And you can't be afraid. You cannot be afraid. I just kept going right at him. And eventually, I don't recall now. I mean, it's been many years, but I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes, perhaps. He came out of it. And he said that his back felt really, really cold and wet. So I lifted up his shirt. And through his white T-shirt, I could see the blood had soaked through. And yeah, in the sign of 3 crosses. So I lifted up the T-shirt, and yes, there was blood on his back, but there was no wound. And I'm more scientific. So I said, look, I need the T-shirt. I need to have it examined. I've done this before with the University of Connecticut. They've been very helpful with me. So we walked back up to the house. He took off his shirt. He handed me his T-shirt. There was no blood on it. It was gone. Yeah.
As they say, Satan is the biggest magician ever. He is a conjurer of hallucinogens. Wow. And you can't show fear. You really can't, because they will prey on you instantly.
Because you're feeding them. And fear is a denial of faith. Fear says, yeah, I got faith, but not quite enough to overcome my fear.
Yeah. That's a funny way to put it, but that's letting the demon or the bad thing know this guy doesn't really believe in God. He doesn't really think his soul's going to heaven. Let's get him.
And the thing is, if you really think about it, God created everything. And if God has a greater perspective than us, and if you've ever studied the history of what demons were historically, long before Christianity, and even through the development, Judaism and then Christianity, the Satan, not Satan, the Satan was a title. It meant spiritual prosecutor. And their job was to test your faith. Even in the New Testament, when Jesus is in the wilderness for 40 days, just before he goes to Jerusalem for his final encounter, Satan shows up and tests Jesus's faith, makes sure that he's strong enough for what the trials he's about to go through. So I believe that these things that we call demons, and they do manifest differently all over the world, I think that they're here to strengthen our faith and to bring us closer to God. Sometimes we fall and we die, and I've had people die. But I believe in my heart that those people still move on. They don't go to hell. Nobody goes to hell. You can be lost in the dark, far away from the light of God. But my grandparents and I and billions of people around the world believe in reincarnation. And my grandfather even taught me how to do regression hypnosis when I was 16. And I remember some of my lifetimes.
Wow.
I know that I've been learning these lessons over and over again because I'm a thick-headed fool who can't seem to learn without an awful lot of pounding in the head.
And you're honest. You're brutally honest. So I got a question, I guess. So is that why you think you feel so comfortable traveling? You've been here enough to where you've almost been every place already, and it's almost like a second home because you were there in another life, maybe?
I don't know. My father was from England. Is from England. Excuse me. He's still alive. My father's from England. And he had us moving around a lot when I was growing up. A lot. I mean, I have lived in 66 places. No, now 67, 68 places in the world.
Good Lord.
And it was my wish as a child to see the world. I joined the Peace Corps as soon as I got out out of college. Went to West Africa, the poorest country in the world, a military dictatorship, country called Mali. It's where Timbuktu is. Matter of fact, it's funny because I had made a joke a day before I got the invitation. I said, they're probably going to send me to Timbuktu. And they did.
Well, I know you probably don't want to admit it. You probably don't think so, but I think you got some psychic abilities in you anyway. So that's pretty funny. You probably called that one.
No, I know I am psychic. I know I am. It's something when I was young, I used to love. And then I started scaring the crap out of people in my 20s. And in college, people would want me to read them, and I'd read them and they'd run away.
They all want the good news. They don't want the bad news part of readings. They all want am I going to be a millionaire and marry someone popular?
I couldn't tell you that kind of crap. I don't tell you. But I can see people, and that bothered them because I saw them.
Heather.
I think, though, that it's a gift, too, because it helps me to connect with people better. I don't ever look at a person's aura anymore. I never try to get inside of their heads. It's an invasion of privacy. But I do use my abilities in my work. And down here in Central and South America, in Latin America, for some reason that I don't understand, everyone just assumed I was psychic. So they kept bringing me places. And as skeptical as I am, and I am, I've been faced with the fact that, I can really do this. And I mean, I've come up with some amazing stuff. I mean, if I think it's amazing, it's amazing. So it kind of blows my mind, to be honest, because I tell everyone, do not trust psychics without evidence. And I don't trust myself unless I've got evidence.
Yeah. That's smart. That's actually really smart. That's wow. I still can't believe, honestly, and I love.
I've seen too many people hurt by getting bad advice from psychic. Oh, you've got a demon attached to you, or oh, you've been cursed. Well, excuse me. For goodness sake.
I love it. Hey, there's no censorship here, brother. Oh man, I gotta switch gears for a second because I like to reminisce. I remember going down to meet Annabelle in 2019, 2 months after my mom passed away, and about 4 months after Lorraine passed away, your grandmother. And I told you I was coming down, and you said, well, I won't be going. I'm leaving, but you're welcome to come meet me for breakfast. And you gave me the address. And me and Heather put it on the GPS, and it went to Monroe, Connecticut, the Warrens' house. And we about lost we had no idea. And we showed up. We brought our bulldog, who stepped on the horn and blew the horn in the truck for a little bit. But we ended up going up to see you, and we were just like we were old friends. We talked a little bit on Facebook, but like right now, how everybody sees Chris, I know he's going to blush for me saying this, but this is what you get with him. He's awesome. He's down to earth. He's a very good soul. He's got a little witty sense of humor. He'll tell you you're being a jackass for sure. And I think Ed would do that the same thing. He'd smack you a couple times. Oh my God,
my grandfather had no problem. I'm going to interrupt you because you're just going to keep talking.
No, go ahead.
Hear it. My grandfather. This is my favorite grandfather story, and I never called him grandfather or grandpa. He was Gramps.
Gramps, awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was too rough a guy in his own way to ever be a grandpa. But I hope that's not me, my computer.
No, that's my stupid computer.
Okay.
I got you.
It was the dead of winter in Connecticut. My grandfather was driving past this house, and he saw this long-haired collie with a chain around its neck. It was wrapped around a tree in a frozen mud puddle in the snow, caked with mud. And my grandfather just walked over, stopped the car, walks over, unhooks the dog, walks up to the front door and says, "You just lost your dog." And he brought the Duke, because my grandfather's favorite actor was John Wayne. So, yeah, Duke.
Oh man,
great dog.
Oh my God, he literally kept him. I could, of course, that Patrick guy plays Ed pretty good, but from what I've seen in different videos, Ed seemed pretty salty. Of course, he had the military background. I mean, he had every reason to be, but wow,
Oh, he was a
didn't.
type A personality. Yeah, my grandfather. I gotta tell you this one too. Every Sunday we'd all get together, whether it be at my mother's house or my aunt's house or my grandmother's house. My grandmother would spend hours saying goodbye, and my grandfather would be outside. Lorraine, let's get going. And then she just keep talking to us and saying goodbye and ignoring
my God,
absolutely completely. It was wonderful.
they were polar opposites, huh? I mean, Ed and Lorraine.
They complimented each other so wonderfully.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you think they're portrayed well in the movies? How it's got the actresses Vera and him.
I think Vera does a wonderful job. She really does. Patrick,
she gets me every time I see it. I'm like, oh.
Patrick never had the opportunity to meet my grandfather, so
that's true.
I don't see my grandparents when I look at either of them, to be quite honest. But Vera looks a lot like my grandmother used to. You know, she's done a wonderful day. They both have so much love and respect for my grandparents.
That's big.
Yeah, I think it's in Conjuring 2. There's a scene where they're on a TV show, and the TV show, as normal with all of us, brings out a skeptic. And my grandfather, once he's off, Patrick, once he's off the screen, is like, yeah, that's my grandfather. That I recognize. Oh,
so he probably did a little bit of research. That's cool. Because I see Vera when she talks, she's very soft-spoken. She almost can calm you through the movie, and I feel like Lorraine was very calming. So that's cool. I'm glad that that's cool. That's
my grandmother was far sweeter than you saw in her public persona. You know, in her videos and her shows and stuff, she would be very professional. But in real life, she was the one that, spent 2 years preparing for that upcoming Christmas every time.
Oh.
I mean, and I'd enter the house and, would you like something, dear? What would you like? I'll get it for you. It was like that with everyone, you know?
Oh, and that's why she's with you still, and she's proud.
Sandwich?
That's why she's with you, and that's why she's proud of you, man, because you're carrying it on. You're doing stuff she wanted to do. I remember hearing that.
Something she and I planned together. We planned this together. She wanted this. She wanted the foundation to continue her name. She loved the idea of it continuing the Warren name, and the fact that the movies expanded our reach to the world. We needed to do this.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. That's amazing. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I forgot for those of you tuning in, this is Chris McKinnell of the Warren Legacy Foundation. We're just going off like two friends. Chris is pretty much seen and not done it all, but he's pretty well-rounded when it comes to that stuff. He's I got to go off topic.
I've never jumped out of an airplane.
No? Oh, no way. No parasailing. No parajumping, whatever they call it.
Not yet. I haven't said no to it. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. But I've hiked the Himalayas. I've bicycled England and France. I got stoned by a bunch of Palestinians at the Jerusalem Wall because I was traveling with a loudmouth other fella that started screaming at him.
When you got to write a book, you need an autobiography before you end up forgetting some of this stuff. You got a lot of stuff in there.
I've had a weird life. It's been full, and I love my life. But I mean, I truly love my life. I do. Yeah. But not always. And I think that's important for people to understand. We all have to go through hard times too. There are reasons for it, but it makes those bright moments so much brighter. If you're smart enough to have gratitude for those bright moments. And I think that's the secret to happiness. Yeah, I still have problems. Hell, I'm broke all the time. But I don't care. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the opportunities in my life. I'm grateful to people like you that, are such dear friends that I get to talk to and I get to work with and help. And nothing makes me happier. Nothing in this world.
You see that? You have a beautiful new partner. You have a plethora of great friends that don't, no offense, but don't care about your title or who you are. It's because of who you are. I mean, obviously, Ed Lorraine's grandson is a great title, but everybody in the Warren Legacy Foundation, they love who you are and what you stand for. And you've done that just by being you. You're in no one's shadow. And I think people that know that. You're a pleasure to have as a friend, and you're someone we can turn to if we ever have a problem. Absolutely. I always tell people, if I'm ever in over my head in a case, I could make one phone call and if I needed it. So, that's great. We got a lot of people watching. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate that. That means a lot. What is I got to ask you off subject. What's probably the coolest or what's your favorite food you've tried? Have you tried anything exotic Korean like squid?
Food. I love Korean food. And I love Thai food.
Korean food. That's something.
Oh, it's delicious. Oh my God, it's good. They make these things, these rice cakes, that then they fry it up with red pepper paste, bean paste, a lot of garlic, some pork that's been nicely shaved. It's so rich and thick and spicy and delicious. Oh my God, it's a favorite. Yeah, that's a good one.
I tell you, once you get out of America, the food is a delicacy. I mean, from what I've heard, I've only been to Quebec once, but the drink and food is pretty good. What do you think you miss about America besides maybe like family and friends? Is there anything you miss, like a local store maybe or something?
Pizza. New York style pizza.
Hey, been to see that. Not just around the world. He's been all over America, New York. Growing up in Connecticut, I'm sure you've been to Salem. You've been to Maine. I remember you telling me you've been to Maine a couple times when you were a kid.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
I brought my
New York style pizza.
Yeah, New York style pizza I miss.
Really?
Yeah. I've had some pretty bad pizza around the world. I've had good pizza, but I've had some really weird pizza.
Oh man, where in Maine did you go? I gotta ask. Was it? Like is it like an attraction or something?
No, I've been a lot of places in Maine, but I love Bahaba.
Bahaba.
Yeah, Bahaba.
Fucking Maine accent. That's a Maine accent, folks. Deep one.
What's the name of that national park right near Bar Harbor? Begins with
C. Acadia.
Acadia.
Okay.
Yeah, begins with an A. Yeah. I love that. And
Cadillac
my God.
Mountain, though.
If you get soft shell lobster up there, so sweet.
That's Heather's thing, clams and lobster. Hey, you tell you one thing, you ever come to Maine, you got a place with me and Heather. We would pull the red carpet out for you. Not that we have a lot, but you'd be welcome like a king here because you treated us great.
I will definitely take you up on that someday, I promise. And all I need is a couch. I'm happy with a couch.
You can share it with the bulldog. I know you're an animal lover, so.
Oh yeah, everyone in my family is an animal lover. Believe me.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man. So anything? I know. Let's talk because some people are turning on late. You want to talk a little bit about the Warren? I know you're doing like not teachings, but aren't you offering like not seminars, but something on there, right?
A whole bunch of things that are coming up. We're working on a series of books. The first book is basically a guide to the paranormal using different cases and different experiences to illustrate our lessons. The second book is actually going to be done in conjunction with a lot of our members where they share what they've learned and their different experiences in the paranormal. We've got another booklet we're putting together quickly to help people learn how to protect themselves from all sorts of different spiritual paths. We're working on a wonderful weekend getaway in New Orleans for early 2023 next year. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing it. It looks like we're going to have it in a very cool haunted location. We're going to have main seminar, major.
I might have to go to that. New Orleans is a
seminars.
bucket list. Oh my God, you're going to be back in the States for that? Then you plan on coming back?
Of course.
Oh, to break bread with you in New Orleans? I got a year to save for that. I can do that. I'm gonna have to go down there. That's wild. I'm sorry to cut you off again. You know me. I got my ADHD, so I my brain shouts out. But to be in New Orleans with you, man.
It's a great place. I went down there for 10 days of training for the Peace Corps before I left for Africa. Man, Bourbon Street, that music is amazing. It's a great place to hang out. It was a great experience, and it was amazing to me how friendly the people there were. There was this fella, he was the bartender in the hotel. He was, back then I drank, and he was giving me free drinks, and by Friday of that first week, he had taken me out for lunch at this little tiny African-American hole-in-the-wall place. Oh God! And he said, next time you come to New Orleans, you stay with me and my wife. You are always welcome. I have had that offer so many times in my life from so many wonderful people. There were 2 pizza chefs in Cairo, and me and a friend of mine, John Mulholland, were hanging out there on occasion, and they invited me out for the day. And so I went out with them. One of them gave me a ring that I still have to this day. His girlfriend had given to him, and he gave it to me. And he said, next time you come to Cairo, you stay with my family. You have a home here. I've been adopted by a family in Mali. My adopted father was Manamba Keita. My mother was Sita Anjara. My name, because nobody, I had to have an African name.
Right.
My name was Dauda Keita. Dauda means David. And I had a nickname too, which actually is why I have a tattoo of, I don't think anybody can see it, but I have a tattoo.
Oh yeah, I can. Show it up. I want to see it. I can see that. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go.
It's hard for me to do this because can you see that?
That's beautiful. Yeah, nice color. Absolutely.
I got that in where did I get in Lisbon? Well, no, actually outside of Lisbon.
Portugal.
Yeah, Portugal. One of the most beautiful places in the world. Definitely worth checking out. Great food.
Because I grew up in Lisbon, Maine, Lisbon High School. I'm like, he didn't get it in my hometown of Lisbon, Maine, did he? Where Stephen King went to high school. That'd be weird.
My nickname was Waraba, which means the lion. You see, the neat thing is they were not used to white people. And so and in Africa, especially in West Africa, only old men can have beards. I'm a 22-year-old guy with a beard. They thought I was like 60 or 70 years old because they couldn't tell my age. So I was
what about? Wow, the lion. That is whoa, that's actually pretty. And I tell you, and for those of you out there that think it's cool to not, I don't know if people don't think it's cool to be religious and they don't think in God, but you wouldn't get these connections if you weren't a good soul. If people didn't trust you, people didn't like you. Doing good and being good is what gets you these great rewards in life. Don't do it for the rewards, obviously, but I mean,
I honestly don't know about that. I mean, I've had a lot of dark times in my life, and I've helped a lot of people who've stolen from me, taken everything. I've lost everything 3 times in my life. I actually had a comic book collection that I had from 7 years old until I was about 54, and I trusted somebody to sell it so I could give the money to my son, and he just took it. It was well over a couple of $100,000 worth.
Oh, people paid big money for those comic books, man. Now that Marvel's got movies, man.
But the truth is, it freed me up. It was an anchor. It was something to carry around. I lost everything. Lost my house because I took in 2 homeless people who ended up beating me and robbing me. And then it freed me up. I honestly, having those attachments, I don't need.
Which, like you said earlier, possessions.
Yeah.
You don't bring them with you.
Attachments. I have a backpack. I live out of a backpack, and I'm perfectly happy. Could not want for anything else. People want to give me gifts all the time. I'm like, please don't. I can't carry it.
You're rich in other ways, brother. You're rich in other ways. I still got the. Actually, still got the. I still got the coat you wore to Lorraine's funeral. I still got that with the bottle of cologne, like I mentioned the other day, just because it's cool.
God, that thing you could use as a blanket for your bed. It's so big.
I got it because it's like Heather mentioned too, Chris. Also, since you've been adopted, you yourself, you've adopted in return. You've passed that as well. You have some adopted.
Well, unofficial adoptions, let's say. But yeah, I've got a brother from Nepal, and his whole family are my family. He's lived with me, I think, 6 or 7 times. The last time he lived with me was for a year with his pregnant wife and his mother, and then the baby came. She is. I love my niece. They also have my nephew. I've got adopted daughters around the world who have adopted me.
Oh man!
And I'm very
what
proud
a beautiful thing.
I found that the strongest connections in my life have not been blood; they've been the other people that have adopted me. Those are choices, and that they're very special to me.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I don't know. We got a little bit of time left. I know you didn't want to go 2 full hours. We don't have to. We can go an hour and a half if you want, because it's only been an hour now. But I want to get into a couple little things, if you don't mind me. How did you
ask me anything? Anybody can ask anything they want. I'm an open book.
How did you and your lady meet? Let's do a little love connection. How did that all turn about? If you don't have to go, it's whatever you want. I don't want to push
it's very simple. It's very simple. I tried out Tinder, and I had very bad luck with Tinder for a while, and I gave up on it. And then I went on again just to look, and I saw this incredibly lovely woman, and she was very spiritual, and a bit older, which I liked. And we met for breakfast. She gave me a hug, and I knew right then, this is somebody I really want to know. And yeah, it's been really wonderful.
Can you read her aura, you think? I mean, you're good at aura and stuff.
She's a very good very good psychic. She really is. And it's funny, she only speaks Spanish. So to answer Heather's question, hablo español muy bien ahora porque tengo una profesora muy buena. Ella ayúdame con mi español y estoy muy feliz. Sí. In other words, yes, I speak Spanish now.
She's laughing. I'm sorry. I can't put on the. She doesn't want to be on camera. She's laughing next to me. We're big supporters of you. We're just happy you're happy. And if she's good for you, she's good for us. That's actually impressive. Quite a seductive sounding language, if you ask me. The way it flows. It's like Italian in a way.
Romantic language. And
yeah.
I wish I could get a hold of my old college Spanish professor, because I put that poor woman through hell. I hated the language. And here I am now. And I love it. It is romantic. It's expressive. I mean, it's funny. After college, when I went to a new country, I always learned the language. I learned Bambara and French in Africa. I learned Thai in Thailand. I couldn't learn Korean, and I couldn't learn Portuguese to save my life. But Spanish has been my favorite, easily.
Wow, that's between traveling. I mean, if you're going to travel, you might as well pick up a little bit of the language along the way, right?
It's respectful.
Yeah.
The least you can learn is please, thank you, excuse me, and
the basics.
El baño is important. Where's the bathroom?
I didn't even know that. That's a good one. That's what I want to know. I want to go. Where's the beer? You know how to say where's the beer?
Sí. ¿Dónde son las cervezas?
Cervezas. Okay, I'll try to remember that one if I ever leave the country, if we're allowed to.
Well, if you're gonna do it, come to Colombia, man. It's cheap. The people are friendly. The food is fantastic. It's a giant country, incredibly varied, and it is really quite safe.
Wow. I think a lot of people, they think America's the best and we're number one. And it's like, okay, number one in what? Number one in teen pregnancies, number one in addictions, number one in non-believers.
Like in education around the world. 40th. Our medical system is broken and and destructive to health. It's based on money. It's insane. The truth is, I think every American should be kicked out of the country for a year or two, and they would learn that their country could be much better, and it should be much better.
I love that.
What upsets me about the United States is the government and the media, they project this idea that we're number one, and in any way you measure it, and if you actually look at the information online, you'll see we're not. There are many countries that do far better than us, happier than us, better healthcare, better education, better everything all around, better prison system. Our prison system sucks.
Yeah.
Unless you're saying number one in sports, but which sport? The rest of the world playing soccer, football.
I guess pro wrestling, like the ultimate Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yeah, there you go. But I don't know. You haven't seen the Mexican wrestlers, obviously.
That's true. Lucha Libre is pretty wild stuff. They take that shit for real. They walk around the streets with their masks on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really their culture. Cool. They're superheroes, man.
Yeah, that's pretty wild that Yeah, of course you'd know that, but yeah, that's pretty funny. But I agree with that. Peace Corps must have really opened your eyes greatly, Heather says. I think,
absolutely. I lived in a mud hut without electricity, without water for 2 years in the poorest country in the world. And it taught me what's important. It really did. The people there were so generous with me. If I went into a village to help, they would give me 1 or 2 chickens. And they didn't eat a chicken a year.
Whoa.
It was humbling, truly humbling, how generous they were. It is.
They didn't eat a chicken a year, so it's that. So like us in America, we can just go to KFC and get it, and then people bitch, "Oh, KFC's big line, I gotta wait." The impatient and the narcissism in America, and like you say, that we're number one and America rules. It's so sickening and
well, it's ignorance. People don't know how good much of the rest of the world has things. And somebody here, Linda Williamson, is saying that when she vacationed in Thailand, she wanted a Wendy's double burger. Wendy's was open when I was there. I don't know if it still is, but boy, you should have gotten the samurai burger. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. If I'm going to go out of country, I'm not getting McDonald's or any of that crap. I'm getting I'm going to win in Rome, man. That's
well, and you know what's really cool? That all of these places do exist around the world. You can get Pizza Hut anywhere. You can get, God help you, you can get Taco Bell anywhere in Latin America. I'm like, why? Why would you have Taco Bell?
That's why you got to learn to say, "Where's the bathroom?" in every language.
Exactly. But it's neat because they do tailor things differently to the local tastes. So that's kind of cool. You
I hear that the menus are different. Yeah, they get different shakes in Switzerland or something I heard or whatever. So that's cool. But I like how you take the approach, though. You like to get with the people. You like to do the home cooking to an extent, almost like
absolutely
the traditions.
If you're going to be in a country, don't hang out with other gringos. You can do that at home. Learn from the people that you're there to meet, learn from, and meet and interact with, because there's no reason to be afraid of these folks. They're just people like you and I. That's the thing that bugs me most, I think, coming from and I will admit, I see this in every culture I go to. It's not just the United States, but it's this fear of the other. It's this fear of what we don't understand. Take some time and learn then, because there's no reason to be afraid of your brothers and sisters. We're all the same.
Or hate. or hate. No reason to hate someone because
Yeah.
they like the people see the Africans that go, oh, they dance around the fire, primitive. That's how, their music. That's their dance. That's their Mardi Gras or whatever.
Oh
That's
man,
what they
I'm telling
do.
you, I remember when they celebrated my coming. It was amazing. I mean, they dance. There's energy to their dance. It is so cool.
That's really cool. I like that, the passion. They're not
Yeah,
doing it for YouTube hits. They're doing it for the celebration, the
joy,
soul,
sheer
the
joy.
joy.
Yes.
Yes. Anybody know what that means anymore? Out where we're watching, you guys don't know what real joy means because
Yes, I
I
do.
think Chris has spent some time, and like you say, it's not all rainbows and pussycats and chocolate fudge, but you take the good with the bad. Not the old school song from the show, but you take the good with the bad, and you learn to learn. I guess learn from the good and the bad, which you've done, and you just roll with it, right? I mean, like you say, man, you're not perfect, you're not a millionaire, but you're loving life with just the simple things, and it gets you through every day.
Yeah. I think the secret to happiness is gratitude. It's
Gratitude.
recognizing the good moments because in every single day, regardless of how bad your day is going, there is something good there. It could just be looking out at the mountains, and saying, "Wow, they look gorgeous today. That's beautiful." And I always take the time to recognize what's around me. I go to the market across the street, pick up some vegetables or something, and the guys are so nice. They're so sweet, and I just appreciate that. It's just, oh, they're nice. And I walk downstairs, and we've got security guards at the front, and they're nice guys. So there's always a fist bump and a how's it going, and it's wonderful. You take a moment,
It is.
and you can make your day better. You have the choice. You're the author of your life, nobody else.
You're right, and I know it's hard for people out there. I know I get it with Corona and not seeing stuff, but you look at Chris, and this is someone who up and left his friends, family, his foundation, and said, "I'm going to go see the world. I can do this." Sure, I'm sure you were scared. You're pretty much alone at first, but no, you never would even. No, you got a nomadic soul in you. I think you're just a traveler at heart, brother. That's
I've been
cool.
traveling my whole life. My whole life.
You got your faith.
My son
You
was
got
born
God
in
with you.
Bangkok.
What else you need? Was what?
My son was born in Bangkok.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Oh man. Man, oh man. That's what a privilege. Everybody, I'm sorry, people are still tuning in. This is Chris McKinnell, the War and Legacy Foundation. Happy New Year's Day, everybody.
Happy New Year,
What a
everyone.
joy to talk to Chris.
We haven't
Check
really
out the
done a
War and
lot of
Legacy
paranormal,
Foundation.
but that's okay. I'm actually enjoying this far more.
I appreciate that. I try to stick to the history, and I think the paranormal's played out. Everybody and their brothers got ghost boxes, and everything's demonic, and they're possessed. I get it,
Can I please
but I'm trying to
address that crap? Oh my God.
I'm trying to stray away from that. Me and Heather like to go to places that are historic as well as possibly spirited. Look for who was there, and it's just fun. And I've got a talk show to talk to people like Chris. And last week, how I had Kenneth Torres and Joseph Horn and Dr. Heather, a bunch of the War and Legacy Foundation members on Christmas night.
I am so blessed to have them. They are the greatest.
Oh, they love you. They speak so highly of you as their leader. We go to Chris. You do good work, and these people reflect that, Chris, because they're good people that do good work. You have a great team. I can't say enough good things.
No, I'm very lucky. I really am. They make the foundation what it is. They're amazing, all of them. They're just the greatest people. I love them all. I really do.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. So I got to ask, how was your holidays and New Year's? Obviously great. You got your lady, you're in a beautiful country enjoying exotic food and stuff, but just another day, I guess, Christmas, so to speak. But you say it's full of parties down there.
Oh yeah, but I don't drink or anything. I went to bed early for New Year's Eve. Today, my lady came over with a girlfriend of hers. I made Chinese food. We watched The Greatest Showman. They cried a lot. I cried a little bit too. Hey, I've seen that movie a few times. It always makes me cry. Great movie.
I'm a crier. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. You know that. We get spirits, man. That's it. That's why we can never be serial killers. We got consciences. I mean, sure, you've had rough shit. Like you say, you've had people steal from you. You've lost it all. You almost passed away, for God's sake. But you move forward. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I want to give everybody hope. Heather mentioned to me the other day that it just seems like here in Maine and even America, maybe around the world, it just doesn't seem very plentiful for Christmas. There's no more Christ in Christmas. Not a lot of lights up. People are losing faith and hope. And I want to kind of bring some back. And I want to try to reach out to people like Chris and show people that the Warren Foundation, Legacy Foundation, is doing great things. Can you talk a little bit more about donating and the packages and stuff for people that just joined on?
Sure. I'd be happy to. We've launched a new program on Patreon, Warren Legacy Foundation, and it's an opportunity for people to help other people. And for me, that's the important part. It's an opportunity for you to help us either at $5, $10, $15, or $25 a month level. And you do get rewards for that. But for me, the real reward is, that when there's somebody hurting, like in Miami, and I keep bringing up Miami because there was a woman and we couldn't send anybody there. We just couldn't. I support the foundation with my Social Security check. That's it. And we want to do better. And so we need help. You get a number of different gifts. You'll get a gift every 3 months from us, plus every month you'll get different opportunities, different gifts, question and answer sessions, depending on your level, one-on-one sessions with me or with anybody you would like in the foundation. Don't get me wrong, I'm still accessible if anybody's in trouble, but this is just something a little extra. And for me, what's really important is, again, we're here to help. This is God's work. We've got other things in the work. The books that we're working on, my portion of that will go to the foundation. I will not take a penny.
Wow.
I don't want it. If there's ever any programs that we get involved with, that goes to the foundation. It does not go to me. I don't need it, and I don't want it.
Like you say, it's just you don't have your own pocket to put into it. So it's if anything, like you say, it's 100% goes into it. There's so much you offer for free as it is, and you need a little bit of extra. And I know me and Heather are going to sign up. Nicole already has. And I know people that know you and know the foundation know this is the real thing. You're not tied in with other people. You're not the big Hollywood people. You are very modest, very humble, and very just here to help. And you need a little bit of help for help. And let's just all make a difference. And I think if you could spend money on fucking like reality show seasons and all these little things that you're not going to bring with you when you die, buy some, help something now to help you.
And then we're gonna have special one-on-one sessions, special question and answer sessions, classes we're going to be offering soon. But those classes are going to be open to the public. Another way for us to raise money for the foundation. But at the same time, people who are Patreon supporters will get a discount. So, we want to do that. As for a release date on the books, no, we're still writing them, but we're working on it. It shouldn't be too long, actually. I would like to write, you mentioned it earlier. I would like to write a book about my travels, my life, and share the lessons I've learned. I had an import-export business from Kathmandu for 7 years. Kathmandu, Nepal.
Wow.
And it was after the Peace Corps, and I wanted to help local artisans in the Himalayas to have outlets in the United States for their merchandise, and that was rewarding, But I got to meet the Dalai Lama, for God's sake. I mean,
Dalai Lama, that's a big one. That's
Yeah,
a
and
big one.
I got to meet the military dictator of the country of Mali while I was there. I was their token white guy for the village, and when the dictator came, they put me right in the reception line. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh, I tell you, for those of you that aren't friends with Chris yet on Facebook, and I'm sure I'd accept you, just don't be rude. When you post your pictures and stuff, you're very detailed and thorough about where you are,
Yeah.
what the year it's from, what type of food, whatever. And I love that. You know me, I love my history and my detail ship. And
For me,
I
it's
love
important
that
too
you.
because it gets rid of the fear. I want to educate people so that they're comfortable with the idea of visiting other places, or they're at least not afraid of the people from those places. All that fear mongering that politicians do. Oh, they're coming to rape your children and steal your mothers away. Bullshit. Excuse me.
No, that's true. It is bullshit.
Yeah, it's just, to me, you're missing the point. Most of these people are people, just normal, nice people. And if you actually look at the information, and I've worked with what people call illegal aliens, the truth is they are the ones that will not commit crimes in the United States overall. They have a far lower crime rate than the native population in the United States.
Yeah. I just think they get profiled wrong because, like you say, we fear what we don't understand. They get a bad rap in the news, and people are quick to go, if you're not American, you're not right. But they seem to forget we all came from somewhere, man. Not one person in America doesn't have a descendant from Ireland, Scotland, Africa, wherever. So I actually fear the average American more than I would fear someone from Mexico or Canada or any place else. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's Americans I don't really trust.
I was just in Mexico a few months ago. What a brilliant culture. I was educated in the United States, so I had this image of Mexico as being this miserable, poverty,
second rate,
and dangerous. Yes, there are dangerous parts. Don't get me wrong; there are everywhere in the world.
Well, everywhere,
everywhere. And I wouldn't want to go to Detroit. But the truth is, it's colorful, it's bright, it's beautiful. The people are incredibly friendly and welcoming. I love Mexico. I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Oh, I hear Cancun's amazing. Yeah, I like you say, man. There's good and bad in everything. It's just, but that's the whole mentality that we're America, we're the best, and everything's second rate, and that's just horseshit. I'm sorry, I'd rather be in Italy. I hear so much good things about Italy, where my grandparents were from, Calabria and Venice and stuff, and
it's a beautiful, beautiful country. I always wanted to go to Tuscany.
Oh, Tuscany, yes. Yeah. Oh man, we're talking to Chris McKinnell, the War and Legacy Foundation. Chris McKinnell's the grandson Ed and Lorraine. Thank you for joining us on this New Year's Day.
I gotta say something about this. Wait a minute, my friend. Everybody brings up grandson of. We all have grandparents.
I know.
It doesn't make you special. It does
no,
not
I guess it's cheesy. No, I guess that's cheesy to even say, and I don't mean that because I love Ed and Lorraine, and I know you do too. But you are something entirely. You're your own monster, so to speak. You're your own brand. So yeah, I know that. I don't know why I keep saying that. I mean, when I wanted you to come on, you're like, no one knows who I am. What do you want me on? I go, that's why I want you on, because you're modest and humble. I don't want someone coming on going, I don't know, maybe speak to my agent. I don't want people like that. I'm good.
No, I don't think people know who I am, but they know my grandparents, and I'm not ashamed of using their notoriety to help others. For me, it's what my grandmother wanted. It's what I feel is right, and it's God's work.
Yeah. Sarah joins us from England, which is awesome. Sarah Jane asks, hi, Chris. Is it safe to connect with loved ones that have recently passed away?
Depends on how. It depends on how. There's nothing wrong with talking to your loved ones who've passed. The thing about death, everybody's afraid of it, which I don't understand really anymore. I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the unknown. But what death really is your old car breaking down to the point where it doesn't run anymore, and then you get out. That's it. In reality, when you die, it's a coming home party, and the spirits that have loved you throughout your life, whether it be from past lifetimes or from, your ancestors or just loved ones from this lifetime, they're overjoyed to have you come join them. It's nothing to be afraid of. You're just letting go of the old car that broke down. Yes, we grieve when we lose someone. I certainly did when my fiance died, but I didn't when my grandmother died. I was happy for her. I got to spend that last day with her.
Oh man,
I was the only one with her when she died. But
wow.
The truth is, we grieve for ourselves. We don't grieve for them. Not really. At least
That makes sense.
we may think we're grieving for them, but it's for our own sadness, our own pain of losing them. We'll get to see them again. There's no doubt in my mind. I've been contacted by so many spirits over the years that I know for a fact that they're with us. When you remember them, they are called to you. So I don't recommend spirit communication at all. If you're going to do these EVPs, which I also don't do, but if you're going to do them passively. You turn on your recorder of some sort, whatever kind you want to use, and you don't do anything. You don't talk. You don't try to interact. If they want to speak, they will. That's it.
Amen. No, what is my name? Where are we? What color is my shirt? I can't stand that TV crap. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
You're
it.
right.
Ouija boards are a dedicated way of opening a door to the spirit world. But the problem is, if you're somebody with a negative outlook or vulnerability of some sort, like teenagers whose all of their emotions are very raw and new, you could attract something very negative, and that's the problem. You're just opening a door. You have no control over what comes through. A reputable medium will not call on, let's say you want to talk to your father who died. A reputable medium will not try to contact your father. A reputable medium will talk to whatever spirit is already there with you. That's the difference. They're not opening a door. They're just communicating.
I agree with that. When I was in my Heather, spirits have been communicating with us long before they were a spirit. But that's true. Well, I was just going to say too. I was in my car accident back in May, head-on collision. The doctors, my police report said I died for 36 seconds. My mom told me, "Get out, son." I remember telling Heather, my airbags are orange, and my mom told me to get out. Airbags are white. My airbags are orange in my Ford. We went back and saw it the next day. I heard my mom say, "Get out, son." I didn't have an EVP. I was fucking in an accident. But she came to me, whether I hallucinated or not. Either way, I don't know, but I don't think so. I heard her voice. No, I know my mom.
I can promise you, in a near-death experience, you cannot hallucinate. It's impossible.
I crawled out of the car, and I don't remember any of it. Yeah, and then I died. I laid there, and then of course people are gonna go, "Oh well, yeah." But I know in my heart, and then I know and that's what's helped me a lot. I'm gonna start crying. It's been a rough week. I miss my mom. Sorry, but talking to you has helped me a lot. And I know you blush and you hate when I do this, but you have helped me a lot in my mom's passing because I listened to how you talk and how we do have another side. We are gonna see our loved ones, and they are with us when we need them, and that saved me, dude. So thank you, Chris, from me to you, because I met you right after my mom passed, and that really helped me that day. I met you, and me and Heather follow you religiously. We look forward to your post that you tag us in, and yeah, you're the real deal, and I appreciate that. And like you say, you're just learning too. You're not perfect, but we learn as you learn because you're willing to share what you learn with us, and I'm grateful for that. And the Warren Legacy Foundation, and you guys are doing a great thing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's important to me people understand something about the paranormal too. People watch my grandparents' old videos online, and they think they're learning things. They're learning what my grandparents thought, and they're learning what my grandparents experienced. But it doesn't mean they're learning how to do the work, because the paranormal is a evolving field. It's a field of study. And if you watch old videos, you're not getting the new information. You're not getting what we've learned. You know, I'm lucky. I truly am blessed because I learned from the giants. But I've also got 40 plus years of experience. And we've gone beyond the idea that everything's demonic. You know, demonic too. What the hell is a demon? You know, it is not Christian. It's not anything that we label. And the idea that we have to know its name or anything, we made those names up. We took gods from other religions and we demonized them. You know, and they manifest according to our fears. That's why it's the same, you know, 5 or so demonic names over and over and over again that keep being, the people keep reporting that they're being haunted by, you know.
Right.
And it isn't. And Linda Williamson is saying our pets will also be with us.
Oh.
And honestly, I had a dog named Brandy who was an Irish setter, and he was with me for 14 years. And I was about 22. His back legs weren't working anymore. My mother could not put him down, could not allow him to go. And I took him to the vet to, you know, end his suffering. And for the next 22, 23 years, until I got a new dog, every time I was sick, Brandy would come to me. He'd nudge my hand with his nose when I was in bed. He'd jump on the bed, circle around, lay down next to me. You know, he'd do that. And I knew he was there for me. You know, so yeah, they're there. Always.
And he knew, that little soul knew you weren't well or whatever they are. That Heather's dog, I tell you, they're little the animals. Yeah, they're little souls. Anything that has life to an extent. I mean, even flowers, but these animals and stuff that we all are energy, as you say, and you can't kill energy, man. It just moves on to something else.
That's right. And that's the what is the 5th law of thermodynamics? Energy cannot be destroyed. It can be changed, it can be transformed into something else, but it cannot be destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's us. Everything in the universe is energy. If you really, here's a mind-blowing thing. This is what amazes me. Everything in the material universe, everything that's solid, at one point was a star that exploded billions of years ago. Everything, all of the heavy elements. The truth is, we are the universe, looking back upon itself and trying to understand itself. People say, is the universe self-aware? We are the universe, and we are self-aware. When we truly accept and understand that, there are a lot of other life forms out there that are also self-aware. I have never contacted any of them. They've never contacted me. God knows, I wish they'd beam me up.
So you do believe in aliens? That's cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
On our Facebook channel, the Warren Files, I did I liked this wonderful video we did on aliens and on all of the government evidence that's out there. So yeah, and you're very welcome, Linda. You're very welcome.
Gosh, yes, very. A lot of people are eating it up, and especially right now with the holidays, I think everybody likes to hear, you know, the good side of things. And like Chris said, you know, the paranormal is great, and there's a lot of good entertainment out there, movies and shows. But the real stuff is what he's about. We're about and helping people and figuring things out. So that's cool. UFOs,
you know, scaring is what I'm all about. My job's to empower people. Yeah, I'm a pastor, but I'm a pastor without a religion.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's yeah, you're an inspiration, and I love it because you just tell it like it is, and it's like you don't care if you have 1 follower or 5 million. It's just who you are, and you just live your life. And well, you know what I mean, though. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Costa Rica that wanted me to start a church. I'm like, oh hell no.
Oh my God! Wow! You've been in some killer old buildings, some old churches. I've seen 1500s. People seem to forget America. The oldest is 1620. Nothing really was before that. Very little. So you go to where you've going, this 15, 14, 1300 AD.
Well, you're forgetting St. Augustine, Florida.
Oh, that's true. That was 15 something. That's right. The Vikings went there. That's true. But you know what I mean? Like where you going and stuff. I mean, between pirates and old school colonists and everything else, boy.
And when you really know, I mean, I've been in, Asia and Europe and the Middle East, where things are measured in thousands of years. That's humbling. I love traveling because I immerse myself and I get to meet such amazing people. I really do.
Like you say, different beliefs. Not even the food, which is great, different cuisine and cultures, but that's what it's.
I like that too.
Well, that is cool. That is cool. You're right. But the whole culture, the whole different. Well, in our country, we don't take our shoes off, or we do, or just little things like that. Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Absolutely.
Like or
check
whatever.
This. Here's a snack I picked up on the street a couple of days ago.
The pretzel? What is
that? That is coconut that's been dried and candied. This stuff is so good. I got a little whole.
Oh my God! So they got like street vendors, like street food, like you see in the movies, like they're all
over the world. And you can get,
that's cool.
I love the hot dogs. They call them perro calientes.
He knows the name of them. Heather's drooling through the TV, man. She loves her food.
They do things to hot dogs that we would never imagine.
No kidding.
You guys get jalapeno Pringles in the United States?
Oh no! Are you kidding me?
No.
See, so that's what he was saying earlier. Like McDonald's and different places, they kind of go with the culture. You can get different cultures at different places around the world that you wouldn't get in America. Wow, jalapeno.
Linda's asking an interesting question. Chris, is it true when you see red cardinals, an angel is near? Here's the thing.
I've heard that.
Here's the thing. When you open yourself up to the universe and when you understand what your interpretation of lessons are, then the universe will reveal it to you in those ways, whether it be angelic numbers, white feather found on your doorstep, red cardinals. Some people think that those are actually a loved one visiting. But the point is, it reveals itself to you according to your beliefs. It is working with you.
I like that. My mom was a big believer in dragonflies and stuff like that. And I like that you say that because I feel like these things may go through other dimensions. Heather believes a big thing in blackbirds, like, of course, her witchy ways a little bit, but she believes in like blackbirds, crows and stuff being familiar. She's always out there throwing peanuts to the crows outside our house.
They are so intelligent. Yeah. They are. And if you do something bad to a crow, other crows learn about it. And if you're good, they learn that too. And they will over time adapt to that. It's a beautiful thing.
Wow. I'm looking at Heather now because one day she went out and fed a crow. And the next day there was 3 of them. I go, he went back and told his homies, this girl's got killer peanuts, guys. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, wow. So now they go, and if she don't have peanuts out there, they go out the window and they go, back. Yeah. And Heather goes, I get peanuts. It's like feeding a loose dog, right? You don't feed a wild pet; it'll never stop coming back.
Yeah, there's a terrific video I remember seeing online about a little girl. I think it was a news report actually, and she used to, feed the crows. They started leaving little gifts for her that she kept in a little box. Tons of little gifts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard they do that. They bring shiny stuff. Birds will bring shiny stuff to you and say, look at you. Kind of like when a cat gets a mouse and brings hey, I killed the mouse, Dad. Here you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's beautiful.
Wow.
I was in the big square down the street. Gorgeous governmental square, open place, plaza. And they've got tons of doves out there, and people will sell you corn. And the doves are smart. They'll jump right into your hand and start eating right out of your hand because they know you're there to take care of them.
It's like a trained monkey at a circus just comes right up and starts playing the piano, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And that's what you say back to animals have souls because some animals are smarter than some humans I've met. I'm sorry, man. There's some pretty smart. Number 111 I've seen my whole life, Linda. Beautiful. Can you explain to everyone the meaning of 1111? Do you believe in that
Honestly,
superstition?
I can't. I'm sorry, but I would ask you to Google angelic numbers. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
show me that. Yep.
It's something I used to see 1, 2, 3, 4 like constantly, and that's about new beginnings and spiritual awakenings, I think. So that one stuck in my head.
I love that. See, Chris isn't one to sugarcoat it. If he doesn't know, he'll guide you to the right place to find it. He's not going to bullshit you an answer. Chris is human, man. If you don't know it, he's like, I don't know. This is what it is. He's not going to go, well, that means this. Yeah, Chris is very, no, he's not like that. So that's awesome. Someone thinks they might know associated with Angels 444. That's possible. Like Chris said, look it up. I guess it could be more of a, depends on
it's
your.
It's simple. All of those numbers, and there are hundreds of them, are online. Just Google angelic numbers. That's what I do.
Heather wants you to go lay with your old lady. She's telling me 10 more minutes and you're going to say goodnight. So Heather's cutting me off so Chris can go.
Okay.
That's Heather for you. She's looking out for Chris. I mean, we love you to death. She doesn't want me to, but I'm going to go. I don't care. Heather, say hi. Too bad. There you go. Oh, man. I know. It's been an hour and a half. I don't know. Well, I just wanted to talk to you.
Christina will be very happy if I'm able to spend some time with her.
Let's do it. We'll call it a night. I'll go an hour. I just wanted to bring you on. I wanted, for those of you that didn't know you, to know you, what you're about. And with your announcement that you went live too, right before the show, like people said, go onto the War Legacy Foundation for more. A lot of good stuff coming. 2022. Look for the War Legacy Foundation. Any more shout outs before we go? Anything you want to say?
If you need help, we're here for you. Just contact us through the Warren Legacy Foundation. There's a Google form that you fill out. It's very simple. And then we'll get the process going. 50% of our job. Everybody wants us to jump in and start helping immediately. They want us to answer a question. But the truth is, we would be doing you a disservice. We need more information. 50% of the job is gathering the information so that we can do a proper diagnosis of what you're dealing with. Are you a psychic and you're self-manifesting? Are you dealing with a ghost? Are you dealing with something far worse? Are you also perhaps dealing with mental health issues that are helping the paranormal to manifest? Is that your vulnerability? Because there's always something that's making you vulnerable to these things. And that's what we need to understand. So we take it very seriously. It's not something that we play around with. And we have got lots of really good, dedicated people. And we invite others to join us. Not everyone. We are very careful about who joins the foundation. And Adam, you really ought to reapply. I'd love to have you join now.
Oh, I was going to ask you. I still got it in my Gmail, and I was like, I never responded, and I didn't think I was good enough. Honestly, I was like, what the hell am I going to? I don't know what to say. But honestly, dude, I would be. That would mean. Oh, I love you. I'm going to tell the world I love this man. I don't even care. I could say that with pride. I'm a straight man, and I'll still say it. I love this man. He makes me feel good about life. Thank you, Chris. A joy to talk to you. I'm going to fill that out right away so I can be part of this beautiful group and help people. And I want to learn. And I want to learn under some of the best. And go be with your beautiful bride-to-be. I'm going to go be with mine. Enjoy your New Year's, brother.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, but yes.
Oh! I wanted to see where we took it. Happy New Year, Chris McKinnell. Merry Christmas. God bless you.
This is a woman who doesn't speak English, and she knew that one.
Yes, I got it. She's lying to you. She knows a tiny bit.
If she's not careful, I'm going to turn the camera on her.
In Spanish right now.
She knows, Heather goes. She knows how to swear in Spanish or what? Hey, man. Chris McKenna, we're going to have you on. I'm sure Heather will have you on at some point. But good talk to you. Be well. Everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. The Historically Haunted Podcast. What a way to kick off 2022, January 1st. God bless you, Chris McKinnell.
God bless you,
War Legacy.
God bless Heather, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for all of your questions, for all of your comments.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us. I don't want you to be afraid. Really. If we can help, the foundation's here to help you. Just reach out to us. God bless you.
We're having fun. We're laughing, but he's right. It comes down to it. It's about safety and health and knowledge. God bless you is right. See you guys next week. Love you all. Peace out.